Okay, so good morning everyone, or whatever time it is there for you. Okay, so I think we get a bit too hung up on sort of defining what identity means. The but one of the ideas that I've had before is like, in resolving this sort of ship of Theseus kind of thing. The saying that every 7 years or something is a whole new you, because sort of every atom has passed through your body and is no longer there anymore, which is really bizarre and a hefty kind of thing to come to grips with, I suppose. One of the things that Javier said that I've thought of before is that we can sort of define identity through continuity. That I'm the same person now as before, because there's a sort of a continuous stream of events of me doing things, breathing in and out, as simple as that, existing in one place and another, and there's no sort of gaps along that, so I'm considered to be the same person. But yeah, I think that there's more productive discussion in talking about what sort of identity means in societies and things like that, which is sort of really irrelevant to that sort of philosophical idea of, what does identity really mean? And I mean, I think identity it's sort of different in the sort of societal point of view. Basically, we identify a particular person as having, certain experiences with that person, and the way their face looks, and particularly around their eyes and whatnot, that, we identify them by those features. But I think that identity is very important to people, very important to people, and like, I think people take comfort in the idea, perhaps in error, but in the idea that they fill a hole in society, in the societal sort of structure, that nobody else could fill. Okay, so one of the things you asked Sophia was, is identity a unique concept? Does it change over time for people? And in one way it does, and in one way it doesn't. In one way, like the more philosophical definition of identity, that this is a particular person and that is a particular person, I would be identified as the same person as when I was a baby, and when I'm an old man, hopefully I'll get there. But in another way, in the way that we sort of consider ourselves and our place in society, I think that sort of idea of identity is a lot more fluid, and certainly we go through different stages in our lives where I think we could, quite rightly be considered different people. Because people do really change extraordinarily over the course of their lives. I mean, it doesn't happen easily, but over great stretches of time, like 10, 20 years, you're looking at, I'm sure at least in some cases, completely different people. You asked, why are we in a constant struggle to define ourselves, to have our own identity? And I think that just comes down to the importance that people have with identity, because they feel the need to have, it's an instinctive need to have this place in society, and to have that status in society, that is promoted by having this really distinguished identity. Something that other people will look at you and think that this is an interesting, different person, as opposed to if you don't put as much into defining yourself, you would expect to be less interesting, because there would be less differentiation between you and the next person that you meet. But yeah, I think that's all the thoughts that I have on this subject that I can think of right now. So I'll see you guys next week. Look forward to it.